Well, fall is a great time to plant a new tree. It can get established without the intense heat of summer and before the ground freezes. So today on You Can Grow It, Garden Master Jim Duthie gets together with a local tree expert to plant a tree, and they've got some planting tips so that your new tree will grow strong and healthy for a long time to come.
Fall is the perfect time of year to plant a tree. This one is newly planted, so we want to show you what the process is to make sure it gets off to a good start. Today we're planting a tree that Far West Nursery has donated to the Boys and Girls Club of Ada County.
So we selected this tree because we have a larger conifer here and another tree here, so we wanted something slender. So this is a slender silhouette sweet gum. It's a newer variety of sweet gum that stays narrow, so we've got kind of a columnar tree here.
Sweet gum trees are known for their brilliant fall colors of orange, red, and yellows, all on the same tree at the same time. But before you buy a new tree, there are a few things to consider.
Well, you always want to make sure that tree's going to fit the location. So if you've got a very narrow spot, you need a narrow tree. If you need a yard tree, shade tree, you want to make sure you get that kind of selection in there.
And before you dig the planting hole, make sure there are no underground surprises.
So call 811, get a hold of Digline, they'll come out for a free service. Call them 2 days ahead of time, and they'll mark where you're going to put it, where you want the tree, and make sure you don't have any utilities down there.
Dig the hole wider than the root ball of the tree.
Not just as wide as the tree. We want to go wider. We want a chance for those roots to go out into some new soft dirt and grow a little bit before they run into our heavy soils that we normally have around here.
Then make sure the width and depth of the hole are appropriate for the tree's root ball.
So I know my depth is good. Then I'll just kind of use my shovel as my measuring stick, kind of come across here, and that's about the depth I've got. Come back over to the pot. That's definitely deeper than the pot. So I definitely got some room in there to throw a little compost in and get the tree in and get it to the right depth.
Remove the tree from the container, being careful not to damage the root ball.
So I'm going to set it in here, just check my depth. So that tree is just a little deep. So we're going to take some compost, mix it with the native soil, put a little bit of a bed underneath it, bring the tree up to the right height.
Mix some compost with the native soil from the hole you dug to backfill around the tree.
I like to mix it in. I think a 30 to 50% new compost with our native soil gives that tree a chance to understand what soils it's going to be growing into now, along with some really rich stuff that makes it grow quicker.
Most new trees are grafted onto a rootstock, and that graft line needs to stay above the level of the soil.
If we put soil up on it, plant it deep, or mound soil up onto this, this is going to be turned soft over about a year, less than a year. It's going to rot off. Planting a tree too deep, even by a couple inches, is just a death sentence for your tree. So that looks pretty good.
With many containerized trees, the roots have been growing around the inside of the pot, spiraling around the root ball.
And we don't want that. They'll have a memory, so they'll continue to do that for a while before they go out into the native soil. So we're going to score them. It stimulates new growth. It breaks that memory. They'll start coming out of that root ball and they'll go out into the native soil, and that's really what we want to see.
Also, check to make sure there are no large roots encircling the trunk of the tree.
So we've got one right here. It's come back up. It's going to go around that tree. And if that root continued to stay there, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. As the trunk gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the root gets bigger and bigger and bigger, we're going to have an issue here. So that's a good one to get rid of.
Turn the tree to the side that looks best.
To me, there's a little bit of an open spot here.
And then add more of the compost and soil mix to hold the tree in place.
We're going to fill it about 25% full, just enough to help make sure we get it leveled.
Dennis prepares a root stimulator to help with any transplant shock and pours it around the base of the tree. Then he tamps down the soil and waters it in to settle around the roots.
He went through some stress here, so he's getting a drink. There's always stress in planting a tree, but in a fall planting, there's a lot less stress. So doing something like this, where it's the time of year where it does a lot of rooting, is going to really help that tree out for spring.
Well, thank you, Dennis. How do you think this tree is going to do?
I think we've got it off to an excellent start. It should do fantastic.
It's going to look really great growing up here, hopefully for many years to come here at the Boys and Girls Club in Garden City. For Idaho's News Channel 7, with Dennis Fix, I'm Jim Duthie.
They did such a good job. And staking a newly planted tree isn't always necessary or, in fact, is discouraged. So to prevent any damage to the trunk or the branches, just monitor the tree as it settles in. And if it begins to lean, then staking may be needed as the tree emerges from dormancy in the spring. Provide some fertilizer and make sure it gets plenty of water heading into the hotter, drier months of the summer.